So in my first dream, I had a bunch of dreams that seemed connected. I remember I'm in the school. I'm in my kid's school, and I'm volunteering for the kindergarten class. And it's the end of the school day, and the teacher is letting us all leave. But every classroom is let go by like age group. So first is the kindergarten class, and I'm leaving the class, and I'm looking at all these other classrooms as I'm leaving because I'm trying to see my kids. And I was just there as basically like a volunteer, like a parent that helps the classrooms out. But I was only helping like the JK and the SK classes. And so as I'm leaving the school, I keep looking into these other classrooms, trying to see if I can find my own kids because they didn't know I was going to be there. It was like a surprise thing. And so I make my way out of the school, and suddenly it's not school anymore. It's like this big room where I'm waiting, and it's all the parents. It's like, yeah, we leave, all the parents are there waiting for the kids, but it's not like a school anymore. And these adults who are like the parents of the kids are there, but there's no more kids, and it's not a school. And it's weird because it's like the adults are fooling around. It's almost like it's suddenly become like a swingers club or something. There's like these adults that are like making out with each other, and they're like it's like a weird party, like some weird like swingers party. And I'm looking for my wife or girlfriend. I can't even tell who she is, but it's like a partner of mine. And I go to a corner, and my partner, it's like a big group of adults are, and these are still technically the parents of the kids, but it's not like it's just like a separate party just for like the kids' parents. And everyone's standing around just watching some couple do stuff, and it's not clear what they're doing, but they're just like doing some swingers activities, like some voyeuristic thing. And my partner is also standing there watching them, so I just kind of I go up to her. I'm like, "Let's go, let's leave." And so then we just decide to leave, and then we leave this weird building or something, and we're walking towards the cars in the parking lot. And it's like it keeps shifting. I can't remember if it's two different dreams I'm remembering, or it keeps shifting between like the school and this like adult swingers club. I remember I leave the building with my partner, and some random guy is just standing there by the side of the road. He's like a middle-aged Asian man. He looks like, in my dream, for some reason, I know he's like from Mongolia or Tibet or something, and he's there working as some temporary worker or something. But I know 100% he's like from either Tibet or Mongolia. And he's asking me as I walk by with my partner, he asks me what the going rate is because, like, I guess the building we just left is now suddenly like an adult club or something, and it's like these escorts or something. And he asks me what the going rate is, like how much the price is, how much it costs to hook up with these prostitutes or escorts or something. And I kind of shrug my shoulders. I'm like, sorry, man, I don't know. I don't do those things. I don't know what the going price is. And then I think I even say something to him. And I say it's like, I think it's like, I tell him it starts at a couple $100 and it goes up to thousands of dollars or something. Or he says something like that. I think he says like, I can't afford the $1,000 they want or something like that. Or he's like, and I'm just like, I just shrug at him and I say, I don't know, when I leave. And so my partner and I are walking towards the parking lot to get into the cars. But then again, here the dream kind of shifts, and I'm walking alone, and I'm waiting for my partner and my kids. And so a bunch of like there's like it almost looks like a cave in the ground, but it's not. It's like the school is underground, and it looks like a little hobbit, like a hobbit hole. And I'm waiting on the street, and the kids come out, and there's like a bunch of kids. It's like 4 or 5 kids, and they're all my kids, and they come up to me, and we're walking, and I'm like, "Where's?" I don't even know the name. My wife or partner that was with me. I asked them where she is, but I use a name, but I can't remember what the name is. And they're like, "Oh, I don't know. I thought she was with you." And I'm like, "No, I thought she was with you guys." And so then I'm confused. I take out my cell phone, and it's like a cell phone looks weird. It's like an old BlackBerry phone. It looks like it has the keyboard and the screen together. So it's like this long, old school BlackBerry type phone. and I'm trying to call my wife or partner and ask them where they are. No, I think I'm texting them. I'm trying to text them, and I'm walking down the street with my kids, and I'm looking for my car. And then suddenly, I know I get to the parking lot. Yeah, I get to the parking lot. My partner never answers me, or she doesn't. I can't remember. She somehow tells me that I just realized she's left. I don't know if she calls me or texts me, but I realized she was like ahead of us and she already got into her car and she left. So she's gone home or something like that. And so now I'm in this parking lot with my kids and I'm looking for my car. I can't find it. And I press the alarm button on my key fob, my key. So the car starts honking like the alarm. And I realize where the car is. But then suddenly the whole dream shifts. So now instead of being in a parking lot, I'm inside of a store with the kids. It's like the parking lot became the parking lot of a grocery store, like a Walmart or like some sort of big store, some big grocery store. And so I'm inside it with my kids now suddenly. So I'm inside and again I take my phone out and I'm trying to call my partner and let them know if I'm trying to ask them if they need anything from the grocery store because I'm here with the kids now and I might as well pick something up for dinner. So I'm asking my partner if she wants me to pick something up for dinner and she's not replying though, and it's getting annoying and I'm pissed off. And then I'm like, okay, whatever. So I go into this supermarket with my kids. And so my kids are following me and we're just walking around. But before I even do too much walking, I find this. It was so weird. I can't really remember anymore. The dream is fading too much. I find this. It's in the candy section, and it's like this weird. It's almost like this weird dispenser, like a candy dispensing thing, kind of like what a gumball machine would look like, where you have candy inside and you twist it and the candy comes out. But it's not for gumballs; it's for candies. But it's this really weird device. It has like two little. It's not that big. It's like the whole thing is the size of like a coffee maker, but it looks like fancy and it's got candy in it already. And it's like some weird thing where you push a button and candy comes out of it. And the device or this thing comes with candy already. But I remember I'm grabbing more candy from around the area and I'm putting them inside this device to basically trying to get more candy in it, like kind of like I guess stealing candy from the other machines and filling up my own machine with as much as I can. And so I fill it up and my kids are just standing near me or something and they're just like watching. And so I fill up this device, this candy dispensing machine. And I don't know why I'm even buying that, but I mean, I was looking for dinner or something for dinner at first, but next thing I know, I'm buying this device. So I grab it and then I walk towards the cashier. And now suddenly the dream kind of shifts and it's still a supermarket, but now I'm waiting at the cash register, but it looks more like a doctor's office or a post office or something. I think it's like a post office. And some lady is there handing out forms. And I bump into a stranger and we start talking. And I think I hear my name. So I ask him, how the hell do you know my name? He's like, I didn't say your name. And suddenly we're just small talking. Me and the stranger are just small talking in this post office. And then he kind of signals to me. He's like, hey, man, do you want to make a quick $50? And I'm like, what? I'm so confused. He's like, I need you to be a witness to these forms I have to fill out. I'm like, okay. And he's like, I'll give you $50 for it. I just need a witness. You don't have to do it. You just have to sign. And for whatever reason, I'm just kind of agreeing to it. I'm like, okay, sure, I'll do it. And so we walk over to this desk area and he has these forms. And in my mind, in my dream, I remember it was so hard trying to fill out these. He has 5 or 6 forms and he's handing me these papers one by one. And I have to fill out my name and the date and I have to act as a witness. And I remember writing my name. I write my first name and then my last name. And then he's trying to get me to write the date. And I'm asking what the date is. It's so weird. The whole thing is very comical because he keeps handing me a form and then the form gets mixed up and I start filling out the form. It's not the right form. I'm like, what is this? He's like, oh, sorry. And he switches forms. And then I realize I've written down some information on the wrong line. So I'm filling it out. It's the whole thing was very weird and comical and it felt like it lasted a long time. So I remember I had to write my first name, my last name. I had to write the date at one point. And for the date, it was February 28th. I had to fill out so in the dream, the date was February 28th, 2026. I had to write also my high school. I had to write what high school I was going for. It was some sort of history thing. I had to write some historical stuff about myself. I had to prove my identity or something on this form. and I was just acting as a witness to this complete stranger, like whatever his form was. It was like he was filling out some important application. And so he just has this stack of papers on this desk. And at one point, I'm kind of going through the papers to him, trying to fill out what it is. He's just standing in front of me watching me. And suddenly, within his stack of papers, I find one of my credit card statements. It's like an older credit card statement. I think it's from January. No, I think it's an older credit card statement, but it's actually from January of this year. But suddenly, like all of a sudden, I get very freaked out and paranoid because I'm wondering why this guy, the stranger, has a copy of one of my credit card statements, and it doesn't make sense. And he's not even saying anything. He's like ignoring it. I'm looking at it and I'm reading this credit card statement. And I remember in the dream, yeah, for sure. I read the date on the credit card statement is January 2026 for sure. I remember seeing that. But then I'm getting paranoid. I'm trying to find information about the like what money's been spent where. What I can't remember what I was doing, but I'm just it's hard to read in dreams. But I just remember I'm trying to read like the statement, like just trying to get more information out of it. But I know it's mine. I see my name on it, and I see the date for sure. Yeah, January 2026. But now I'm getting paranoid because I'm thinking that this whole thing that this guy wanted me to do, which was act as his witness, because he wanted me to sign some paper. And I think in the dream, I realized that he's trying to steal my identity, or I start worrying that he's trying to steal either my identity or he's trying to get me to just sign this document so that I could, like, he can steal my signature or something. It was basically like I realized he somehow wants to steal my credit card information. Like, yeah, like basically like steal. He has my credit card info, but he just needs me to get like this last signature or something, and he's gonna steal my money somehow, my credit card, or like start using my credit card. And that's all I remember from that. The dream sequence ends with me just staring into this credit card statement. It was for MasterCard too. It wasn't Visa. I know for sure it was a MasterCard statement, January 2026. And that's all I remember from that dream sequence. And then another part of the dream I had, I think I actually had this dream before. This was one of the earlier dreams I had in the night because it was so weird. I barely remember from this one, but I was at my cousin. Okay, I was at my cousin's house. I was at one of my cousin's houses, and it was like a party or a family gathering. But I had to leave. I think I was late for work. Yeah, I'm at my cousin's house, and I'm late for work. I have to go to work, so it made no sense. But I can't even see other people. I just know there's a group of us. There's like family and friends. I think it's just family or something. That's like a family gathering or a party. And so we're all together in this big area. I guess maybe it was like the living room area or whatever. People are like socializing and talking and stuff. But I think I have to go to work, so but I have to go to the washroom before going to work. Like I think I have to actually take a shit. Yeah, I have to go and take a shit. So I'm looking for the bathroom. And I walk into the bathroom, and it's like this big bathroom. It's almost like a bedroom though. Or maybe it's like the ensuite of a bedroom. And my cousin is there, one of my cousins who's my age. And I go into the washroom, and I think he's in there too. But again, it's like weird because it's like one big room. It makes no sense. But the toilet's there. I see the toilet, the shower, the sink. But then it's like part of the bedroom. There's like a bed and desks and other stuff or whatever. But it's not very clear. I can't remember clearly what the other stuff are. But it's like a big ass washroom. And so I go towards the toilet. It's so nasty. I remember this. I go towards the toilet because I have to go to the bathroom because I have to take a shit. But then I realize that the toilet is overflowing, and there's tons of these little like pieces of turd in there, like pieces of shit just floating around the top. And I'm like, I look at my cousin, I'm like, dude, what's going on? Like, I need to go to the bathroom. And he's like, oh shit, sorry man, I clogged the toilet. It needs to be unclogged. And I signal to like, no, I somehow just tell him to hurry. I'm like, dude, unclog it then. I gotta get going. Like, hurry up. And he's standing in front of me, and I think he has his shirt off. He's wearing like pants or shorts, but he doesn't have a top. And he's kind of overweight, and he has they look like blackheads on his body. They're little like, kind of like zits, but they just look weird. It's like they're skin tags and zits at the same time or something. And he's like, okay, he tells me he's gonna unclog the toilet, but he needs to start picking at these zits first. Like the whole thing it made no sense. It was so weird because I have to go to work, so I'm frustrated at him. I'm waiting for him to unclog the toilet so that I can take a shit before work. but he's standing there and he starts like picking at these skin tags, but they're like zits at the same time. It didn't make sense, but they're kind of dark. They look like blackheads. And so one of them, he grabs it and he's asking me. That's what it was. He's asking me to squeeze one of these for him. And it was like on his shoulder or chest, like it's a little hard to get to. I was just like, I'm standing like a couple of feet in front of him. I'm just looking at him. And he's asking me to squeeze the zit for him. And I'm like, dude, that's nasty. I'm not going to squeeze the zit for you. So then he goes with his fingers and he grabs and he squeezes it. It's one of those like weird white pussy stringy ones, the ones that just like shoot out but they keep going. I was like those like from Dr. Pimple Popper. I don't know if anyone's ever watched that stuff, but sometimes you have like those stringy blackheads where she squeezes it and like it comes out in the stream. It's so weird. So that's what he does in front of me. And he squeezes it and it comes out and it's like this long, weird, stringy zit that pops out full of pus. And I'm like so disgusted and I'm just watching him and he's like, he makes like this noise of satisfaction, like he's so happy with himself, but maybe it felt good when he did it or something. So he squeezes one and it comes out. It's like long, like several inches long. And then he somehow wipes it on something. I don't know. I think he wipes it on his own clothes. Yeah. And I'm so pissed. I'm like, dude, like hurry up, unclog the toilet. I need to go and take a shit. And then he's like, yeah. He's just telling me he's basically going to do it. And then he goes for a second zit. And this one's even like longer or bigger. Like it's a bigger zit or something. So he goes and he squeezes the second one. I think it was on his stomach, this one. This one's around his stomach, like his belly button area. And so I see him, he squeezes it. The same thing. It's like this big zit that comes out. But this one looks so nasty. It was like so pussy. Like he squeezes it. It's long. First, the zit comes out, which is very long, like a stream of pus again. But then this time, it explodes in his hand and a big chunk of pus comes out, like tons of like big chunkies of pus. And he just keeps squeezing. He's like smiling, looking at me like he's so satisfied with it. But at the end, it's like, it started off as like a small zit and then it just exploded into big chunks of like this foamy, it just looked so big, like a big foamy chunk of zit. And it just kept going and going. And then suddenly it, like when you pop a zit, sometimes it's like a little bit of pus, but then blood comes out. So this one though, it was like tons of it. So tons of pus come out and then like chunks of blood come out. Like it just looked weird, like bloody pus, and it's in chunks and it's all over his hands. And I'm like, at this point, I get so disgusted. I'm like, dude, oh my God, that's so nasty. And I can't even look at him. Like I turn around. I think I walk away. I start walking away and he's like, I think he's looking around to find something to wipe all this pus off. And I think he actually goes again to wipe it on his own clothes. And at this point, I just give up. I'm like, this is disgusting. I'm like, I can't. I don't even have time to go to the washroom. And I think I even look at the time and I realize like I'm running out of time. Like I can't wait around anymore. But before I leave, I think I also see him actually trying to unclog the toilet at one point. I see him kind of like with a plunger and he's like plunging the toilet. But at this point, like I'm close to the door or like the exit. I have to leave this house and I'm like, or it was like a hallway that I was like leaving. And as I'm passing by, that's when I notice he's unclogging the toilet. But it's too late for me anyways. I realize like I don't have time to wait. I just have to go. And that's all I remember from that dream sequence. There's a couple other dreams, but I can't really remember much of it. There was another dream. I remember a small part of this dream. There was me and two friends from high school. I think it's me and two friends from high school, but we're working at the same place. And okay, this is all I remember from the stream. It was really weird, but me and my old friends from high school were in an apartment. It's like a tiny little 1-bedroom apartment, like a small bedroom apartment. And there's like a pull-out sofa bed, and the three of us are sleeping in this bed, but it's massive. It's like bigger than a king-size bed. But for some reason, the three of us, who I guess were working at the same place, are sharing this apartment. Like, okay, so we each have our own place. Like we live separately, but we all work. It's like we live in a different city or something, or we all three of us live in different towns, but we work in the same city. So what we do is we come here and we meet up Monday. Basically, we live in this apartment. We share this apartment Monday to Friday. But on the weekends, we go home to our own home, wherever that is. That's all I remember. The dream was really weird. But it's just me and my two friends. And like, I just know all this. But the only thing I remember from the dream is that it's actually nighttime. And the three of us are laying in bed. And we're sleeping or going to sleep. But we're kind of talking to each other too. It's so weird. But we're just we're sharing this big bed. The three of us are just laying in this sofa. It's a sofa bed too, not a regular bed. Like it pulls out. So it's a sofa that pulls out into this giant long bed. And as I'm laying there, as I'm laying there, there's I'm in the middle, I think. And so there's one friend to my left, one friend to my right. And it's late and we have to go to sleep because we're waking up to go to work. And I think I make a comment. I'm like, hey guys, listen, I know we're sharing this bed and we like this is where we're living. Like I don't even remember what exactly I was saying, but I think we're just talking randomly about something. But then I make the point to mention, I'm like, listen, guys, we're sharing this bed and it's kind of gay. I remember I'm telling them, listen, guys, this is kind of gay that the three of us are sharing this sofa bed. And I'm like, we should go to a store like IKEA and buy one of those single like foam mattresses that you can just put on the floor so that one of us can at least sleep on the floor. And so instead of three of us in this big sofa bed, only two of us would have to sleep on the sofa bed. And they're listening to me, but they seem almost like annoyed or something, like it's not a big deal. And it's not a big deal. That's the thing too. I don't even know why I say that. Like, because we're all just sharing the bed for sleeping. But again, for some reason, I'm just like, I mentioned to them, like, guys, this is kind of gay. We shouldn't be all three of us sleeping in the same sofa bed. We should have at least one extra bed or something. It was, I don't know, so weird. And I know the space was small. Like, we didn't have the space for it. And maybe it wasn't even a one bedroom apartment. It was like a tiny, like, bachelor size apartment. And the only reason we were even there was because, yeah, we were sharing the bedroom or like the apartment and we're just sharing it for work. And so that's all I remember. That's all I remember from that dream. Just the sofa bed. It was a very small one like a bachelor apartment, and pretty much the sofa took up the entire space of this apartment. Almost, it was so weird. Like I think there was like a tiny washroom in the corner. I don't even know if I had a kitchen, and like, it was late at night, and yeah, what a weird dream, man. That's all I remember from all my dreams.